Hello. Let's just take a look at these things. And the banking world, simple and compound interest. What are we talking about? It's not whether you want to pay attention to something. Interest is an amount of money paid or charged when you deposit or borrow money. Now, when you borrow money, you take out a loan, right? If you take out $100, you're not going to pay back just the $100. You're going to pay back a little extra for the privilege of getting that money in advance, right? That's the interest we're talking about. Likewise, and in today's markets, it's not that great. When you deposit money, put money in the bank, depending on your kind of account, you might get paid a small percentage for every year that you keep, or every day or month, depending on how yours is set up. For every dollar that you keep there, you might get a percentage paid back to you. So that's where it works good if you have money to save. Now, interest can be calculated two ways. Usually just for estimation reasons, I use simple interest in everyday life. It's way easier than compound interest. But simple interest is the interest paid only on the initial amount deposited or borrowed. That's called the amount borrowed is called the principal. When you're reading problems, you say, what's the principal of the loan? Because we use a P in this formula. That's the amount of money you're borrowing. The term is the length of time in years over which the money is deposited or borrowed. And the interest rate is often expressed per annum. You'll see A behind it often. Annual, think annum, annual, which means every year, per year. So if you have 5% interest per annum, that means every year you'd be paying back an extra 5% of the money you have borrowed. Simple interest, the amount of simple interest accumulated on an investment or loan is calculated using this formula. I, interest, is equal to P, the principal, R, the interest rate, expressed as a decimal, I'll talk to you about that, and then T, time. So you wouldn't, when I said interest rate expressed as a decimal, you won't use 5%. You use 5 out of 100 and make that a decimal. 0.5, decimal 0.5. We'll use an example and find out. For an investment, you can calculate the total value at the end of the term using this formula. The amount at the end of the term, final value of the investment, is the principal, that's stuff you originally put into the bank, plus the interest you earned on it. Okay, P plus I. So you've got to use that I formula to find out the interest. Okay, let's take a look. This one works in your favor instead of borrowing. Bless you. You'd like to invest $5,000 in an account that offers simple interest. Calculate how much the investment would be worth at each of the following rates and terms. Terms are the time periods. So, 3.75 per annum per year over 4 years. Yep. Tony, you got old nasty there? Your calculator, okay? You need a calculatrice? Okay, because we're going to get this thing rolling. How much is the investment worth? We need the interest and then add it to the principal. So I'll go through it with you. The interest is equal to P, small r for rate, T for the time period, the term. In this case, the principal was $5,000, actually in both cases. The rate, now this is what I was talking about here that I do as a little aside here. 3.75%, remember percents are always out of 100? If you can't do it in your head, you just know that. 375 out of 100, you type it in your calculator. What you'll find is every time you divide by 100, remember fractions can be thought of as a division problem, you get, you see them getting it? Yeah, 0.0375. Now, after you've done 2 or 3 of them, you might just always remember, or you might have known already. If it's 3.75 and you're dividing by 100, the 2 zeros really just make it 1, 2. You can pretend, okay, the zero's here now, 0.0375. You don't actually have to type that into the calculator if you're nifty and you know that. But here you go, 0.0375, that's where that came from. And the time period, I made it easy, 4 years. Everything gets multiplied, chicken fried. And because it's money, keep 2 decimals, like that's the cents. Don't go 17 decimals ever. $7.50. I'm gonna just check it out myself. Doesn't quite sound like what I was thinking it would be. $7.50. So you're going 5,000 times 0.0375 times the 4 years. 750. Thank you, man. Now, let me get this down. You are spot on. $750, that's the interest, that's the stuff you made on 5,000 bucks. Now, 4-year term, let me see here. The amount that you actually earn is equal to your interest and principal added together, but all here. Principal plus interest. So that is equal to, in this case, the principal, which was 5,000, plus 750 you earned in interest over 5 years. I think you can do that math in your head. $5,750. Put the dollar sign in there. No need to indicate the cents if it's double zero, right? Now, this next one. Tell you what, over 15 months, can you put T in as 15? You can, you get it wrong though. So let's just see something here. The time. You need it in years. 15 months, 12 months. A year, like you were saying, a year and 3 months. But let's just divide it right off the bat. You're right. So 12, like you know, 15 out of 12, which is a year and 3 months. Get a decimal for this though. And a year and 3 months, 15 divided by 12 will be 1 1/4. So 1.25 years, like you were saying. Can you guys do that one real quickly? Tell you what, just get the interest for this one, because we'll hustle along. Okay? See you guys plugging away at it. So I'll just write some numbers down and see if you match up with me. This is one where you had to do some rounding. 109.375 is what you probably got in your calculator, right? But 38 cents is all that makes sense in real life, right? Only gas prices go like that many decimals, right? It's ridiculous. Anyways, you can't even spend a penny nowadays. They made them illegal in Canada and try to unload those off on our States friends. They don't know any better. I guess if you were asked, you were asked. I guess the principal plus the interest, I think you could do that in your head. 5,000, that looks like yes. 109, that's 38 cents. Is there a question about this one? Simple interest is the easier one. Tell you what, guys, I'm going to turn you loose on the next page. I'm going to pause the old recording. So try these ones. This shan't take you too long. We'll continue on in a jiffy.